Hello? Hopefully my audio is good, not too loud, hopefully. Okay, everything's good. But anyways, welcome you guys. We're just gonna chill today, I'm just gonna shade the drawing. Nothing too... Nothing too extreme. And I'm still trying out the new tablet, or this tablet, that I'm about to review. And I couldn't stream earlier because... Man, there was just no electricity the whole day. I couldn't stream. So I'm getting like a late night stream for now. I pretty much had the base done here. All I need to do next is put in the shadows or the shading. Or maybe double check on my colors because I'm just seeing few mishaps over here. I'm still kind of like getting the hang of this tablet. Again, I'm not very used to like screen display tablets, so it's really out of my usual flow of process, so that's why I might be slower than usual. But anyways, welcome you guys. Welcome, welcome. I'm awake at 3 a.m. because I'm studying for finals and my eyes are dying. Man, good luck on finals, bro. Still using that tablet? Yeah, I'm gonna use it for a bit. So I can finish a review for it. But usually I just use this tablet as like a second display monitor, you know, to check the colors because the colors in this screen is much more better than my laptop screen, which is very nice. I wouldn't say it's accurate, but it's good enough. Anything is completely better to my laptop screen because my laptop screen is so not saturated. And since I have a tad bit of a complicated coloring process now, or at least recently, I think having a much more better screen is highly advised. It's a tad bit much more easier to use this tablet now since I'm only doing some colorings, and usually when I'm coloring I really don't need to be super precise with how I do my lines and strokes and all that, or how I basically draw in a nutshell. So coloring is much more easier. Anyways, welcome you guys. I might not chat too much because it's a bit late. I mean, it's not super late. It's like 7 or 8 p.m. But that's already late for me. Like when it comes to, or in terms of drawing. I really do not draw around this time. I only draw around afternoon or morning because I tend to have more energy around those time, at least. So sit back, relax. Also have some calming music in the background. I was thinking of classical music, but I think that's too fancy. Here, let me make the music a little bit louder. If it bothers you guys, let me know. So I can adjust it for a bit. The reason why I'm also not that comfortable with this tablet is because I have to use my keyboard on the side here. I'm so not used to this position. No constant electricity problem, another typhoon coming? Nah. Just a scheduled power outage, which is it's very common here in the southeast. Because apparently we're not doing very good on the electricity supply, which is not really that surprising anymore. Any sort of crisis is now fucking common. But yeah, it was like the whole day. It was really early too. 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. So yeah, the whole day basically. Is it done to save up energy? I think so. I think they're also rewiring stuff. But honestly, I can't be bothered. I'm not too annoyed by it. Back then, I was really annoyed because it was too hot. But since it's not that hot, it's fine by me. Can I just say I do not like this keyboard I'm using? I so regret buying this keyboard. It's not even a terrible keyboard. It's a Logitech keyboard, which is considered fancy here. Surprisingly. But regardless, I still find it. I regret the purchase. Because I don't like keyboards that are circular. Just let it be squared. Why do I have to make it circular? I have to redo the whole thing. Of course I have to. Because I was in the wrong layer. We should have like sort of bingo sometimes. Oh, drawing under the wrong layer? Bingo. The art bingo. I don't think it's new though. I did see some of it floating around on Instagram, like, you know, those art bingos and all that stuff. But I haven't seen those sort of stuff in a while. Should be mindful of my layers though. Oh, this is a lot. I think I should start off with red. God damn it, I keep drawing on the wrong layer. This is kind of tiring. I think this is another thing. Since my arm is up, but my forearm is not resting, it's only my hand that is resting. It's kind of tiring to be in this posture. But I think that's on me. I did put it up higher, so I can relax my back more instead of looking down on it. No, well, I guess it's fine because I'm not gonna be that long. For longer periods of time, yeah, it's that's kind of bad. But if you're taking stretches regularly and you're not gonna draw for like a long period of time, maybe that's fine. But if you are, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for you. So be a little mindful of that about that one. It's fine when it's like my back or something. A part of me feels like it's fine if it's just my back or something, but never my arm. Because I can just stretch my back up again. But when it's my arm, it's much more irritating, that's for sure. The pain is much more. Or the sensation of like uh the sensation of like the arm kind of tired and all that is much more annoying for me. And that's why I prefer. But either way, both are harmful either way. Really a no, not really a win-win situation. Didn't know that the selection tool can be used like that. I mean, I'm just using the lasso fill tool. And if you guys are curious on how I select a specific color, it's literally that. I select a specific color. I think you can see that on edit or select option. Just to make things easier and faster. And I use this every time though. But I guess you guys never see me doing really complex designs. So the selection looks much more crazier. Is it okay if I can stream on Discord? stream my terrible use of clips too. I mean, I think did I allow the permission to stream there? From what I remember, I did. So you guys can just hang out and do whatever you want in the streaming channel or in the call voice chat, whatever channel that is. Oh, my Discord is not opening. Oh well. I already streamed there. We both watched Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, but I'm not sure if others can. Let me double check. I think I did allow everyone. Yeah, I did allow. I think I haven't tested the tilt function. Kind of dodgy though. Maybe I'm just using a wrong brush. It is kind of working. But honestly, Tilt's always dodgy when it comes to display tablets. And I don't think everyone. Well, usually it's just. That's kind of shit, not gonna lie. Oh well. Fun seeing you here. What's good? What's up, my dude? Do I have the right tool? Okay. answer your DMs. I don't do DMs anymore, unfortunately. Because Instagram DMs is fucking cancer, bro. I think I can only answer the DMs like from old commissioners. And for the most part, I only just answer through email now. Because I also just don't use Instagram anymore. I mean, I still do, but I just don't use it for a long period of time. I only use it for like a few minutes and then go back to YouTube. Because Instagram DMs is just messy. Sometimes I can't receive messages. Sometimes my messages are not sending. I don't know, it's because I'm Android or I'm using Android because again, most fucking apps are just cancer when it comes to Android. Or it's just my region thingy, is it just an internet thingy? It's so weird. And sometimes it's so shit when even if it's updated. I hate it. Am I the only one that can be answered on Instagram? Well, I think my old, or the ones that commissions me back then, I think I could still answer them there. But I recommend to just use email now because in email, it's guaranteed that I'm gonna receive it. At least from what I know. And sometimes it's just, yeah, Instagram is just dodgy. Sometimes I'm not receiving messages, sometimes it's not sending messages, and I hate it. Casual Android user in the chat. Couldn't be me. I can't help it. We're one of those plebs. But for the most part, I just recommend if you were looking for like to reach me out, it's either Discord, and the number one thing is just email me. Although I do hear that Google might send you on my spam, which is another nuisance. But at least Google email is like not decompressing files, which is nice. And I can send files there straight up. Because also, Instagram is also hiding DMs. From other accounts. So yeah. And I am just not that active on social media for some reason. It's weird. I am active. Like, you know, you can see me going through the comments or something, replying and all that stuff. But at the same time, not active or super active. Like, you can see me everywhere. But that, I think that always has been like a trait of mine. I am just not that active on social media. Is this a commission or a fan art? It's a commission. Commissions are open again. I'm only taking those who like reserve their spots and all that. So yeah, if you were able to like ask, like save you a spot and all that. Sure. So I guess it's kinda open. Or just yes. Makes things easier. Because I think I need to save up around this holiday season. I didn't think I asked. You can email me. See, I can see that I can squeeze you into my schedule. And perhaps make it possible. Don't I have like an email button on Instagram? I feel like always people are always missing that out. Just checking now your email is not on Instagram. Really? Fucking hell, man. Because Instagram has this like email button, right? I guess it's only visible for me. Shit. That's annoying. I guess I'll make a story about it. Make things convenient for everyone. Although I haven't updated my commission info in a while. But at the same time, I don't want to make a huge announcement that my commissions are open. Because I'm afraid I might... You know that I'm that type of person who's like... Sometimes she just feels too guilty to turn things down. So she ends up accepting so much more than she can handle. And I think that's pretty much a common experience for artists. Especially those who are like dealing with commissions. Don't you just hate gaslighting yourself? Although I do know when to say no to a request. Or like if it's too big or it's too demanding, it's way out of my league, or it's way out of my what do you call this? From what I am allowing to do and all that stuff. It's way out of my terms. Those are the stuff I do turn down. But sometimes it's so rare. And I still feel guilty turning them down. Hope you've been doing well, thanks. And welcome to the stream. I have a terrible time saying no. Yeah. I just hate that I just hate that stuff, man. I just hate that feeling. Okay, this is gonna be a nightmare to select, so I'm not even gonna select it. I'm just gonna do multiply layer for this one. It's better to say no than take on a project that you'll feel need to refund later, but it sucks for sure. Yeah. Especially if you're a freelancer, things are hard, or, you know, it's really hard to get clients sometimes, or you have this, it's really not a guarantee to get a client all the time, right? And this sense of pressure is stressful, that's for sure. But at the same time, you really do not want to overwhelm yourself to the point that it's gonna cause problems also. So that's just another headache in itself. But yeah, there are times that you need to take no or to say no as an answer. I do that, but sometimes again, yes, it's still hard for it to do. Or at least you need to like build up that sense or that ability. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of artists complain about their comms emptying the last few months. Wonder it has to do with economy or the influx of VTubers going away. Oof. Yeah, that's basically the thing. You basically have no guarantee all the time. There are times where it's like uh really big to get like multiple clients, and it's basically the season to get clients as a way to say it. But it's so volatile because again, once they're gone, you're gonna have a hard time. So you need to save up. So you always just have this sense of panic all the time, which is really unhealthy to be honest, because you're just pressuring yourself. It's kind of hard to find a balance for it, but it is possible. It's hard, but it's possible. It was a mistake because the guy was pretty rude and kept asking for last minute changes. That's where I recommend having terms. Like for example, if they're asking for too much changes and you're already like, especially if it's a major change. Like for example, they want to change the pose, but you're already on the coloring stage. That's where I draw the line and be like, oh, okay, so here's what's gonna happen since it's a major change. I either just ask for like an extra charge because it's a demanding job, because it's and a major change. But I rarely get that. I am allowing like small adjustments when it's literally concerning colors, and since color is like the last stage, I'm I'm down for minor changes, small changes here and there. But if it's a big change, nah. Have you been working on any animations lately? Nah, unfortunately, no. I've been thinking of getting back into it, but at the same time, I'm like, just tired. And just don't have the sense of motivation to make an animation. I felt like a clientzilla before. Oh, I didn't think of making terms of service when doing that for your request. Do make some terms. It's gonna save you, and it's gonna save your clients some time. But it was literally the artist would not draw the reference correctly, and they redrew it like 6 times, but it wasn't like the reference at all. And that as a client can feel really bad. You don't want them to be annoying, but it's just a matter of like detail. Yeah, it's right. It's like if you're in the shoes of the client, a part of you is like should you apply pressure, or should you be kind or gentle, or be more relaxed, or provide more leisure? But providing leisure putting you on the risk on getting scammed, because there are still artists out there or quote unquote artists, because I've seen some artists, or at least call themselves artists, but in reality they're just tracing shit, and some clients just does not give a shit and actually paying money for like a fucking trace art, which still baffles me, but damn, it happens. But again, that's just a conflict that is like natural. It's like the consumer versus producer thingy. It's just very natural. Loved your animations, thank you. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting back to it because I like morphing animations or anything that is like animating effects. But then a part of me is like, I should get back into making action animations. But I do, or I am aware of like the amount of fucking work that it demands. And it's gonna take me a while to like make an animation. And sometimes in the middle of the animation, and if I haven't doing it in a while, it's impossible for me to finish it. So I ended up not finishing it, which is a shame, but it does happen. So yeah, I'm still like trying to find some sort of motivation or light to get back into animation. I'll probably do it soon. It's really not that hard to gaslight myself. No plan on opening commissions either this month or next year. I think I now have the confidence to make them. Nice, good luck, my dude. I wanna open as well, but I need to fix my commission sheet and revamp my prices. Oh yeah, I think I should also do that because my commission info is so outdated. Yeah. But a part of me is like, I want to minimize the amount of commissions I'm taking because I kind of want to take it easy for a while, and I really want to just have a sliver of motivation again to just get back into animation. So in that way, I finally have time. But it seems like the fire finally died down. I still, I still can animate, but I just don't do it as often anymore. Because I'm just lazy. But who knows? Again, I'm very, very... I'm very, very, what do you call this? Impulsive and indecisive. I could be saying, oh, I'm not gonna animate. But in the next day, I'll probably animate something. That's just how I would work. Let's turn up that mood. And probably the reason why I also just do not use or do animations is maybe because people just do not care. I think a lot more people much prefer to like, or at least most attention that I'm getting is from illustration. And let's be real here, it's miserable to become an animator online. It's miserable to become an animator to any sort of social media. Remember YouTube literally fucking up animators? And YouTube is only like the only example I can list out right now, but it's really just miserable. Social media demands you to like put out some content consistently. And what I meant by consistently is like a handful amount of content. And what I mean by, you don't have to post every day, but the way that they're demanding it kind of feels like they're demanding it every day for you to post something. And then if you're like an animator wanting to be known for that, it's not impossible, but it's completely stressful. That's for sure. Takes up a lot. Would you say $15 to $20 on full body for me is a good starting price for commissions based on how you saw my art pieces, Kim? I think you would need to do some research on that one instead of consulting me. I recommend searching like how do you estimate your prices, commission prices, or illustration prices. Because I kind of base mine around like depending on the hour, how many hours does it take me to draw a full body, for example. And if I try to look like, try to find like minimum wages or like the minimum wage for hour is like 7, something like that. Or for example, if a full body illustration takes up like 3 hours for you to make and the minimum wage is like something like $7 or whatever, then just multiply that by 3. The wage multiplied by the hours. I thought about calming actually. Calming an animation after you did my reference sheet. But I think you were busy. Yeah, unfortunately my animation commissions are still on hold. But I think I can open it for like some exceptions. If I'm like, for example, interested on the commissioner's vision, for example, they want something like an action and they have the enough budget for it, I can make it possible. And if it's like some sort of fun challenge, why not? And it really depends. Like for example, the creative freedom that I get, or what action, like what's the animation gonna be all about? Does it have to be super polished? Does it have to be like super well, like super rendered, like clean line work, fully colored, fully rendered? Does it include backgrounds? You know, the complexity. And complexity, oh boy, complexity and the amount of work that it needs can really ramp up the price of animated commissions by a lot. And for the most part, I'm just probably gonna allow like rough animations. I don't think I can allow to open myself for like doing cleanup, and maybe I can add backgrounds, but it's gonna be rough. But yeah, it's not gonna be super rough, but again, it really depends on the commissioner. And again, it depends on like my interests and my time. Because I still have like all the power whether or not if I would say no or yes. The Shadow, welcome. Wasn't animation com has been hold for the past 6 months? Yeah, I kind of gave up on it. Because I feel like most of the time that the people that are asking for animated commissions is has something to do with music videos. Look, if you're asking for an animated music video, yeah, I'm not gonna be open for that sort of thing because usually their budget is terrible. And for the most part, they're kind of sketchy, not gonna lie. And again, the project isn't really that interesting for me, or I just don't care about the project. I mean, what they're doing is super cool, but I'm sorry, but I'm just not that interested. Because animated music videos are expensive, and the fact that they're like offering, I don't want to make fun of them because they're probably indie music artists. They're just starting out, but at the same time, yeah, don't expect something cheap. You might as well like hire a PowerPoint grader or something, or just do your own if you're really that going really for the budget. Why not just film your own? Hey, you got a new tablet? Yeah. I wouldn't say it's new. It's like a few weeks old. But yeah, it's not a super new version also. I'm only gonna be reviewing this. This is not gonna be my main tablet. I'm only trying this out for a review. Cause I am not a display tablet girl. I'm I much prefer the normal graphic tablet. I just saw you were on and wanted to say thanks for the cool class, Colosso. I'm learning a lot from it. Thank you. I'm glad it's helping you out, my dude. Yeah, I feel that animated music videos are 6K plus sometimes. Yeah, the minimum is 5K. I thought you were going to say full anime like episode there. Oh yeah, that too. I've also seen some others like demanding a full-on fight scene, and I'm like, okay, that's very demanding. Like, I get it. And they were like asking for something fully colored, has backgrounds and all that shit. And I'm like, okay, this is too much, bro. I did some in the past, but I don't think I could do that again. Because it's just ridiculous for me. Because if you're. And again, their budget is sometimes just terrible. Because if you're thinking $1,000 is okay enough, that's like only the minimum. Like, that's barely a minimum. Because, I mean, if it's a rough animation, it's possible. But if you're finding something like fully rendered, fully colored backgrounds, and a lot of shit going on, and the design is complicated, yeah, you're only gonna get like 5 seconds. It's actually really funny because I used to some of what I've learned in the course to do a mini music video for a track I wrote. Actually, I mean, you're doing it for your own project, which is very nice. And that's okay. In fact, animated videos are kind of like popping off recently. May I know how much does this one cost? This commission or this piece I'm making, it cost about 70 bucks. My full body shots are they cost around 60 now. I have to raise the price because of inflation. Inflation is crazy, man. And my art style is like much more demanding now. It's taking me a tad bit longer to make, so yeah, I had to raise the prices there. Oh, you mean the tablet? I actually forgot. Hold up. Boyon. Canvas 13. I feel like it's somewhere around. Oh, I only know the pesos. Hold up. I only know the pesos. Let me convert. I have to convert. HP to USD. It's somewhere around 10,000 pesos. But let me find how much it is on US dollars. Because I only know the price to our currency. I'm not sure the price for Amazon. I'm trying to look to their own website. This is with the stand, by the way. So if you buy something with the stand, it might cost extra. But honestly, I just recommend buying with the stand if you don't have any stand lying around. It's 300 bucks with the stand, by the way. Oh, my music wasn't playing. It is reasonable for 70. I mean, it's a full body. If it's a character sheet, I might die, so. Yeah, the part on the impact frames was really helpful. I have a few quick explosions in the bin, so I gave them the crosses and contrast frame techniques you teach. Made a huge difference. Oh, that is so nice. I'm glad it helped you out, my dude. Yeah, it's one of those cheesy strat that you can use in your animation. Or basically that can enhance. Why and what? It's the Canvas Pro 13. I think this is the old version though. The old version of the Canvas Pro 13. It's the G3. Oh, I forgot. GT something. GT 133. That's the specific tablet model. It's the G3 GT 133. Here, let me write it down here. Oh, that's the wrong cover. Wyon Canvas 13 Pro GT 133. That's the model. And it's something around like 280 or 300 $300. Need to sleep, it's 4 a.m. Good, Emma, dude. Thanks for coming. Saw a lot of artists who has much more worse style with $100 price for commissions. I'm still kind of hesitant to like upping my price too much because a part of me wants to like keep it affordable, at least for most people, or at least an average. You know, I just don't want it to be too overpriced, but at the same time not too cheap to the point that I'm literally crippled. But I do have like the type of commissions that are like 100 plus, but it really depends. It really depends on the complexity. It depends on like what additional stuff that you're requesting. It really depends. Anyways, I think I still need to add some glowy parts to this. Just finished my work, going to sleep now. Have a great rest of the stream, Kim. Thanks for joining, my dude. I might stream a little bit longer because I'm still not finished. But we're almost finished. I only just need to like put in the highlights. and then just add another multiply and glow dodge layer, and this is pretty much done. I might do some texturing for it, but who knows. But a part of me is like, I don't think I need to put too much texture now because it's already overly detailed. And I don't want it to be too cluttered, you know what I mean? We need to balance the details and still understand what we're seeing. What made you get it? Other week you were saying you felt so attached to what you had and that you were too used to it. This is a review unit. So basically, Hwayan gave this to me to review it. The other tablet is also what I reviewed. But that's my main tablet. I'm only using this to review it or to make a review for it. Basically, that's why you see me using it. But will you guys see me again using a display tablet? Maybe. You basically, you're not gonna see me using it as my main tablet. I'm only using it for like testing, reviewing, and all that stuff. I should probably go pass out as well. But glad I caught you. I can thank you properly. Have a great stream. Hope to catch more soon. Thank you. Really nice having you, dude. Have a nice day. Or a great night. Are your general commissions open? Kinda. Of course, the ones that reserved their slots are gonna get priority. But if you would like to wait on the queue, or in case I have like a spot open, you can go ahead and email me if you'd like some commissions done. Thank you, thank you. Thanks also, man. It's not like I hate, like, you know, display tablets. I find them okay. It's just they're not for me. It's really a preference thing. This is why when other artists is like getting into, for example, like maybe finding an upgrade, maybe just getting into digital art, they keep asking like what tool or tablet to get, and it's really hard to say because a lot of the factors, or at least a majority of it, really depends on your preference. But what if they don't have like a preference because, you know, they're starting out? That's where I recommend to just do multiple research. Are you gonna be okay on like developing some hand-eye coordination and no need to buy like a tablet that has a screen because of the budget and all? You know, a lot of factors just to be mindful of. Because even if I'm drawing in this tablet, which isn't my preference, and but either way, I can still draw. In a nutshell, it doesn't matter. This is like one of the few instances that I can tell, like, yeah, tools matter actually. Tools they do matter, but at the same time, they don't matter too much. They only matter to a certain degree. Like, for example, if you have like a faulty tablet, of course it matters. you wouldn't want a faulty tablet. You want like at least a good build and a tad bit higher quality than that. So yeah, tools do matter to a certain degree. Or basically, you have to have like your own standards when it comes to tools. But for the most part, either way, I can still draw. Even if it's not my main tablet. And I think that's much more better. But I do understand some people that just cannot get into using graphic tablets because it's a tad bit hard adjusting using graphic tablets, tablets that doesn't have a screen, especially if you're so used to seeing your hand doing all the lines and stuff. And I understand that, and some people just cannot get into it. So that's where the preference comes in. They can try as hard as they can using that sort of tools, but they're not going to be comfortable with it. And I guess that's applicable to here, to what I'm doing. I am tried my best, and I can draw on a tablet that I'm not comfortable using. But will I ever be comfortable? That's debatable. So it's really up to you. And just be, I guess, understand yourself completely. So you would know where to go to or what to get. So you can hone your skills much more smoothly. But I guess it's just me. I just really cannot see the difference of like my process. Of my process sometimes. Is the other one better or is the other one worse? I really cannot say because both of them are just serving their purposes. And most of the stuff that I'm saying about it is really just preference. Preference. Like having a list. They both serve their purpose and that's all that matters the most. Yeah, it's nice to have different tools. Especially if it helps you get focus. I wouldn't say multiple tools. It's just you need the tools that you know that you need. So basically your tools. Emphasis on the your. Because I remember back then as a beginner, right? Especially traditional art. I remember having like this craze about asking artists like what pen are they using. I'm always curious to what materials they're using. Oh my god, if I don't get the tools that you're using, I'm not gonna be good as them. The typical stuff that you like trying to justify buying multiple tools that ends up not being used because you just realize you're not comfortable using them. But either way, it was a fun experience experimenting with them. A part of me was like, I guess the blame is on me because I was really impulsive. I remember buying multiple multi-liner pens, you know, basically used for inking and stuff like that. And I ended up not using them for drawing. I ended up using them for writing stuff and for school instead. I I bought them with the intent of like drawing, but I ended up not using them for drawing. And you know what I end up using for drawing? Any pencil and pen I can come across or pick up. The tools ended up not mattering so much to me. But it was an okay experience regardless. I was able to be more exposed to like tools I haven't heard before in my life. So it was fine, but at the same time it was definitely an expensive choice regardless, or an expensive action, or a costly decision to make. But either way, you get to experiment and get to learn. And was able to learn like I was able to learn which inking tools that I'm looking more when it comes to pens by experiencing that, you know, gathering and getting pens that I don't need and I ended up not using. But either way, I was able to learn something despite all that commotion. And if it's a tool that you think that, or at least that you found a certain comfort to, like if you enjoy using it, then keep on enjoying and using it. There's really no need for like force yourself to. I mean, there are times that you need to break out of the shell, but at the same time, if it's just tools, something so minor, I don't think you would need to like change it too much. Like, if it's not broken, no, there's no need to fix it, right? So yeah. And I remember that time, just using my old tablet back then. It wasn't even a good tablet. It was like $50. It doesn't help tilt. It has pressure, and that's it. But either way, I liked that tool. I loved using it despite, yeah, it's kind of terrible sometimes. Because sometimes it's just bugging out, which is honestly to be expected because, yeah, the software was so plain. You really cannot customize a lot of it. You really cannot do a lot with the software. And all it has is pen pressure. But either way, it was a journey. Why not? Okay, let me export this because this is pretty much done. And all I need to do is like check the colors if they're looking right or not. If they're too saturated or they just straight up look terrible. I found getting a tablet with a display as a better investment over getting one without a display simply because it allowed me to stream using it as a second monitor for streaming, which means I can keep stuff hidden on one screen while showing the stuff I want to show on the other screen. Nice. And again, that's your preference. To others, it might not work, so that's why I personally just recommend doing your own research and think thoroughly. Like think about it thoroughly before you throw away your money. Because I think I just recommend to be mindful of your choices. Would you? And also, it's really, I think it's much more common, or I guess other people don't expect it to be more common, that artists do prefer using a regular graphic tablet. Like, the tablet without the screen. It's far more common than people expect it to be, I guess. And the reason why people, or at least the ones that are preferring to use that, is because of posture. And I guess that's my number one reason for it too. But if you ask beginner me, like dead ass transitioning from traditional to digital art, I can definitely see that I'm struggling. Drawing with a graphic, which is a regular graphic tablet, I needed to build a hand-eye coordination thingy. But once that barrier is gone, everything went smoothly. Oh, the colors are fine actually, surprisingly. But yeah, this tablet is actually very nice. The reason why I actually use this as my second monitor also, even if I'm using it like for example, I'm using my regular or my main tablet. I also use this as my second monitor. Not a drawing tablet, but only a second monitor. Because the color, the display, or the way that the display produces color or displays color is much more better than my main screen, which is my laptop screen. So I kind of need it. But it's more like a monitor problem and a color accurate monitor problem. But yeah, if you're like looking for a tablet, I recommend, especially display tablets. If you're going for like a budget option, I recommend looking for 13 inches, because I feel like this is the Goldilocks size of the tablet, or display tablets out there. 16 is also kind of like a Goldilocks size, but I think it's way out of price for some people. So you basically have two choices, 16 inch or 13 inch. But to me, 13 inches is pretty much good enough. And also find the one that has like at least color accurate, or at least producing nice colors. And then what else? And also I think I recommend to find a tablet that doesn't have parallax. I think it's common now to find tablets that that doesn't have, or at least has minimal parallax going on. The lagginess going on with the pen and the tablet. Or basically find a tablet that has a laminated display. I think it's much more common now these days. So basically it's much more better to buy tablets recently compared to back then, because back then it's kind of impossible to buy display tablets around this price, because it's only Wacom back in the days, which is uh quite a dark age for artists, or at least beginner artists. Let me export this again. Yeah, I definitely went searching YouTube reviews before I got one. I wanted to see which one was getting the most positive remarks and applications with the price range I was trying to stay in. Nice. I'm glad it worked out for you, dude. Because it's also anxiety inducing, right? To like see reviews that is really negative. Like, you do have this sort of pressure, right? Like, what if it's trash? And especially if it's like your first ever tablet, it does feel like it does feel stressful. And the fact that you really don't have that much experience yet when it comes to it, it really is, yeah, a stressful experience. But once you get through with it, you basically gonna be smooth sailing after that. Getting the tablet is just like the first few baby steps. Oh, are you? Can we talk later on this Instagram? I sent you a message, but you didn't answer me, and this is very important to me, please. I don't answer Instagram DMs anymore. I probably do to some other people, but those are like old commissioners. For those who are like recently DMing or DM using the DMs or sliding on my DMs, I recommend to just email me. Because I'm not using Instagram DMs anymore because Instagram DMs are terrible. Because sometimes I'm not receiving them. I'm not receiving messages. My Instagram DMs are buggy. And also, what kind of important bullshit is this? If you ever want to upgrade using a desktop for art, I recommend you get a monitor with an IPS panel, or in other words, an IPS monitor. It's supposedly color accurate compared to standard TN panels. Oh yeah, you always just need to look for like IPS. There's this OLED craze going on, right, with monitors, but apparently I don't think OLED panels are color accurate. They're good for TV and, you know, for phones and stuff because the colors are super saturated, but they're not color accurate. Let's be real here. But I don't think I'll be upgrading soon because yeah, I'm it takes a while for me to upgrade stuff. But yeah, if you're like looking for an upgrade, definitely go for like color accurate shit. Color accuracy is actually making a difference. It's such a small, it's like a minor thing for me back then. Color, but that probably might be just because I wasn't super into coloring back then. So that's why I didn't care so much about like accuracy and all that stuff. But since my coloring process has become more complicated, like I'm using multiple layers, I'm using multiplies and glow dodges and all of these effects, yeah, I definitely recommend looking for a much more color accurate display. But if you're getting a display tablet, yeah, go for like the newer ones and the ones that are much more color accurate. So in that way, you have a drawing tablet and a very color accurate monitor. 2 in 1 or 3. Anyways, I guess this illustration is pretty much done. Let me just double check once again the descriptions and all. But overall, this illustration is done. Yeah, I'm only gonna do some shading today. It's already 9 p.m., so I should get to bed soon. Guess I'll add a few tidbits here. I'm gonna add like bold lines just to make things much more gritty or popped out. Oh, and yeah, back in the days, like when Wacom, like, you know, dominates the market, it's kind of hard to like buy tablets from different brands. But thank God, recently that changed through the years. OLED, I don't have any experience with OLED. I just heard they have the Pro of True Black or Berry Black screen, but they have their cons. I was told, like, way more expensive if you have it. If you leave it alone and it goes idle long enough, it will experience some kind of monitor burn or something like that. Sounds just like exotic stuff that comes with sketchy problems. It's common. I think it's much more common in smartphones. You definitely see those OLED panels more on smartphones. But yeah, they do live burns or uh oh, I forgot what they're called, but yeah, they're called something like burns. The colors is nice. It's vibrant, but it's not true. You know what I mean? Like it's not accurate, which sounds weird. But yeah, that's the perks of it. It's saturated, it's vibrant. You definitely get like really really dark blacks, which sounds ridiculous, but it is a thing going on to do when it comes to monitors and colors. But it's very volatile. Like it doesn't last as long as a IPS panel, that's for sure. And yes, it is much more expensive. And usually those type of monitors are recommended for like for mostly entertainment stuff instead of professional stuff. And the fuck. Man, Twitch is much more annoying. I'm much more. I think I find it really surprising Twitch doesn't have that. You know, similar to YouTube, like there's just an ad popping out. It doesn't overall disturb a video or the stream. It just pops right in there, and you can close it anytime. Yeah, it's kind of like blocking the way or down here, but at least it's not super fucking intrusive. Jesus. Hold on, let me just. Finish this off. This could have been done around inking or line art stage, but a part of me is like, it doesn't look right if I'm in the middle of the line art stage. That's why I add this really dark shadows or basically ink shadows right by the end. because I can clearly see the results of it. But I don't usually do this on fine art stage. 'Cause I feel like this is kind of like coloring too. I actually do not like doing this. You know, the really solid black shadows. You typically see this style more common on comics, right? Or manga. Part of me is like, uh, wait, how do I say this? Kind of on and off with using this because sometimes it looks way too comic feely for me, and I just do not like the results of it at all. It's really a me thing. To others, it probably looks fine. But to me, it doesn't. But it does help make some parts pop out a bit more because of the contrast. To me, it's a lot more technical and looks more polished. A lot of artists charge a lot when their color and lighting work is not very strong. Really? Because, uh, man, because aesthetic, or at least the art style, is a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes it's not for me at all. Sometimes I'm like, okay, this doesn't look too good for me. It's a really nitpicky sort of situation, that's for sure. Yeah, hold up. Almost done. I think I'm like burping and shit. It does look better though. Kind of reminds me of that style on like that one video game. They go crazy with the black shadows. I forgot what video game. It has something to do with dungeons, I think. I remember. I don't know, with this level of detail, it helps you see the work put into it. Hold up, let me just... It's true. The details kind of look like it's insane, right? But in reality, it's just me throwing lines. So basically, it's a clump of simple shapes. But the quantity is so much, that's why it ends up looking like super detailed. And that's I guess that's the illusion of it. It's a way to say it. So if you want to make your stuff look more detailed, part of me don't recommend really detailed stuff, but a part of me is like, why not go ahead, go try it out and see if you enjoy it. 80s darkest dungeon, I think that's the one, because it's literally dark. It has a lot of weird shadows. It's really super dark. I cannot see anything to that video game. I'm also that type of person who's like super picky about the looks of a video game. If the looks doesn't appeal to me, and if I cannot see anything at all, I'm not gonna play it. And I'm very picky about like play styles and all that stuff. I'm very picky. Period. That's it. That's the summary of my life. Very picky, but at the same time cannot decide at all. It's like a nightmare. You're indecisive, but at the same time you're picky as hell. And it's not like I want to be picky or anything. I would do anything in my life to like not be picky about food or not be picky about clothing and all that shit. But nope, I ended up being. Let's save this and export. And to be a bit picky, overly detailed give me motion sickness. I really like anime style games. I basically like stylized games. Well, at least it depends on the style. Basically, anything that is like an eye candy. Like pouring sugar to your eyes. But not too sweet. To the point that it burns your eyes. Do you guys know the game Scorn? I think it was called Scorn. Or I'm like butchering the name. And that's a stylized game. I think it was a survival horror or something. That game is super detailed. But the details are so much to the point that you don't even notice it anymore. It just looks all like blended in. Other people will probably like the style. Some people don't. I personally don't. Because, I mean, texture-wise, yes, it's beautiful. Or impressive. But other than that, that's it. I don't care. And I think people are disappointed with that game. Which is a shame. I think I remember people were hyping it up back then. Also, earlier you were mentioning price. I really appreciate artists who try to price fair and not around just demand, because right now it's hard to find artists that will work on detailed work unless it's a sketch or a scab. What's a scab? And scab is art lottery. What the hell? Because I still depend my price, or at least estimate my prices, depending on how much hours it takes me to make them. To me, the details here aren't too bad. That's why I still was managed to find a way to like make it down to like $70. So it's really, again, it's really up to artists if they can make it possible or not. And I just don't like overpriced stuff, even as a consumer. Sometimes I'm like, oh god, overpriced stuff. I like it. I think people, or a majority of people, would much prefer like fairly priced instead of overpriced or just way underpriced. I watched some guys play Scorn. The game was delicious to look at. Yeah, when it comes to the texture, yeah, Scorn is pretty much like it's like you can taste the textures, and it's something, alright. But is it a style I personally like? Nah, I only like the texture and that's it. Scab is like an art commissioning site, but you don't get any feedback or communication. You just accept what you ask for it if they want, and you get the result that may have lots of errors. What the heck? Well, you work really hard and your prices are more fair. That's kind of like a sketchy or a sussy commissioning side. What the heck? I don't think Fiverr is worse. I think you'll get much better stuff on Fiverr actually. It's sketchy, but for most part of the artists are pretty good. Well, at least the majority of them are good. But yeah, I think it's pretty much unavoidable to like to come across a sketchy artist or a quote unquote artist. Because there are some out there that are like really scummy and will scam you. And I think that's a part where I recommend like maybe asking other commissioners, or maybe like checking out if they have like showing the process of it similar to mine, and to see if they have like a clean wrap or something like that. And it sounds like a lot of work, but honestly it's for your own good, honestly. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who's lending money. And you don't want to, like, get scammed or some shit like that. And at the same time, you don't want to scam someone, or else that is, like, big no-no. A big yucky. But anyways, this illustration is pretty much done. Yeah, I only need to put in, like, a few finishing touches there. And overall, this is done. No, it's worth it. I mean, I had an artist spend $200 on that flake over and over and never finish, and then I emergency comes you and saved my ass. Damn. Yeah, I recommend not going to sussy sites also. Cause damn. Yeah, that's what I hate also. Even if it's not art or whatever, if I buy something online, I want to get fucking scammed, bro. And if it's taking long, at least have some sort of communication or something. Because hell nah. Because even a single update or even a small update can make a difference. But if it's like uh, really faulty when it comes to communication and just have a sketchy rep, yeah, I don't think I would recommend. It's good to check if artists are reliable for sure. Yeah, it's just not even an it's not exclusive to the art community basically. It's pretty much everywhere. If you're buying something or purchasing something online, you need to be make sure of it. Well, and like with Biju being delaying over and over screws other plans up. What is going on with the VTuber community? What is going on? I mean, I've been watching VTubers, but I only watch like Nijisanji or Hololive. Or recently Nijisanji. I never watch anything from Bisoju. And I don't even watch them all too much. I usually just watch clippers because I cannot watch a 3 hour long stream apparently. And if it's a stream that I'm not interested in. But yeah, I just typically watch clips because again, it has something to do with my attention span. I do can watch like long videos, but it has to be something like uh kind of like a story, streamline story. But if it's like a gameplay or something, I don't think I would watch the whole thing. I would rather watch like clippers. Not sure. I just think VTubing blew up during COVID, and a lot of not professional artists took advantage of people wanting lots of comms. Oh, I can see that. I've had like 7 close VTuber friends have issues with artists, like big ones. Oof. Yeah, I think I guess it's much more common, I guess, in that area in VTubing. Because for example, if you're starting out and all that stuff, you need an artist, animator, the one who does the rigging and stuff like that. People are taking advantage of the trend, and yeah, it's nothing new. Anything that is like trending, people would immediately get into it, either for the clout or for the money. And again, it's not exclusive to the art community. Lots of issues with design artists. Oof. But yeah. And I guess it's also because of COVID, right? Since COVID is like basically a vanilla version of an apocalypse, people needed more money and stuff or needed to find like jobs and shit. And some probably quote unquote artists are like taking advantage of the scene. Which is unfortunate, but my god. Never got their work done, like friends waiting 6 months for a worse edit that ignored what they were asking for. Oof. Damn it, I would just ask for a refund if that's happening. But if it's like an artist that's like genuinely struggling, maybe I can sympathize with it. But a part of me is like, yeah, you need to take responsibility at least of like errors and shit. Especially if something like that. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's really a what do you, how do I call it? A sort of marketplace or an area that is like volatile, or you know, people can just exploit the shit out of. And it really does suck. Oh god. But at the same time, it's just much more better to be like cautious and all that. Double check. Yes, it's a pain in the ass to like to be bothered about this stuff, like finding the right artist, double checking if they have like a clean slate or something. But it's for your own good at the same time. It's new, it's fast, very little accountability because they're more complicated than like Fiverr can handle. Oh, I see. Because Fiverr, I think Fiverr like uh are usually just very specific and pretty much generalize. Like for example, I can draw this for I don't know, $10. Take it or leave it. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, Fiverr is much more simpler, that's for sure. So I'm assuming it's basically a much more bigger project, that's why. That's why it takes up much more time. Probably only a few artists are known for it, or at least only a few freelancers or professionals are on the market. God damn, this is why I don't visit my DMs. Right now I try to visit my DMs and there's like one guy scamming me. See, this is why I don't use my DMs anymore. There's so much bots, there's so much spam, there's so much scams. And probably the reason why I use email now, because it kind of filters out the spam and the scams. Even my phone, even locally, we're getting scammy texts and all that shit. It's annoying. But yeah. And it's also crazy if they're like taking multiple commissions. Like for example, it's a big project, right? And then if they're trying to like do another commission also on the side, and you know, everything just explodes. For example, there's an emergency, there's something going on, you know, external stuff. It's hard. That's for sure. That's why other people are much more like inclined or convinced to like find really, or at least well-known studios or well-known producers and all. Me too, my phone spam. Yeah, it's annoying. That's my biggest issue with the artists. Non-stop, like, they're like taking new comms while not finished with the ones they haven't finished. I mean, true. Even me, I try to minimize it. It's since I have like unorganized stages when it comes to my commissions, that's why I'm confident enough to take, for example, 2 commissions at once. And it doesn't have to be like the same stage. They don't have to be like in the same stage. One commission can be like around the line art stage or already in the coloring stage. So it's basically finished. So I can take up a new commission. So basically it's a streamlined queue basically, and much more organized. But if someone is taking up a big project and taking another project that is also big, I do not recommend that. Like no, no ma'am. Just stop. You're just gonna overwhelm yourself. You're gonna be exposed, or at least every one of us is exposed to like external problems. So your process is not gonna be streamlined as you expect it to be. So it's gonna be a nightmare. My friend Trey, basically, I got scammed. $500 by an artist that kept taking comms, but no updates for you. Bro, I couldn't fucking never. Especially if the price is big projects, so big money is like, uh, is on the line. I'm like, hell no. Because if someone lends me a huge amount of money, I'm gonna be responsible for it. And, you know, they can press charges and shit. And that's enough stressful for me. And if they're paying like a lot, might as well deliver. Like, holy shit. Because, again, if someone is paying big money to me and like I could not deliver, that is just embarrassing. I maybe I'm just like having Gordon Ramsay influence me a lot because I've been watching way too many Kitchen Nightmares. I do not want to be like similar to the owners in Kitchen Nightmares because hell nah. No refunds once started policy too. Oof. Jesus. At least have the refunds available if you have nothing done. Like, damn. I could never. Fuck that. Cause that's embarrassing. That's literally embarrassing. And your reputation is like on the fucking ground if you cannot deliver. They just don't care because a million VTubers trying to calm them. Oof. Damn. I guess fame got into them, huh? They got into their heads, bro. So they can screw over a bunch and just keep accepting new comms because it's not worth causing Twitter drama. Damn, what the hell? That's such a messy situation. And of course, if someone reach out to like to the public, like, hey, this guy is doing this and this guy is doing that, it's just a back and forth thing. It's so exhausting. And probably the reason also why I'm not doing big projects. I only like do projects like I guess a handful that is, you know, that I have a very much a guarantee that I can deliver. Because if not, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't fucking dare. Because I know myself. But yeah, that's damn, that is like scummy though. Let's not name drop at the moment too. I think I should put a disclaimer. As much as we want to like name drop and shit and uh you know, say the name so anybody everybody can also be cautious about it. It's also hard to like accuse completely because you know, it's the internet. And the internet is just divided. Let's be real here. And they would just blame anyone for the sake of blaming. His problem is an artist that is also partnered VTuber. That's why he feels like he can't say anything. Oh, I get it. I understand. And that's happening to a lot of people. I see. So they're trying to be like kind of secretive about it, but at the same time they don't wanna. They don't wanna be. They don't wanna be caught, of course. But yeah, let's just chill for now. we're like talking about a stressful topic, but for our chill time, but why not? Let's pop off. I think I also recommend for like to seek out, like, you know, if you got friends that are like close to you, and then what they're working on is also close to what you're doing or what you're finding, and they know, you know, some artists or basically producers and stuff like that. Yeah, you just have to like uh not completely trust, I wouldn't say that. At least have some sort of trust with, I guess, with your community, because they probably know better. But if you're like only hearing from what other people think, I do also recommend like listening to them. But if they're like a person you don't know of, take it with a grain of salt, because the experience might be different, might be completely different. So yeah, friendship is one hell of a thing. Oh, sorry. Nah, it's okay. It's an interesting topic though, so no, it's fine. And you can vent. Venting is a way of relaxing. No shame to that. We all had to vent somehow. I'm really not that expressive though, but yeah, I also do vent, like my friends and shit. I completely get it. Like me complaining about the food that I got on my birthday. Yeah, it totally happens though. And venting is just a way to like relax your brain. You know, taking out the brain dump and the shit that you've been going through. Although I also recommend being careful to that one too. Because other people, especially the snaky guy kind of people, the ones that you thought were friends but aren't actually your friends. But thank God I don't have those type of friends. I don't think I have a single friend that's like talking shit about talking shit about me or bullying me behind my back. Or I think. But if you get like a close friend or something like that, or maybe a front page of Reddit or something, venting is a way of relaxing. Or venting is one of the steps to get to relax. So I don't blame you. I don't blame the complaints. I don't mind the venting. And it's an interesting topic, so. Yeah, I'm not trying to talk shit on specific people. I was just talking about how the VTubing art market has been pretty exploitive, but I mean, it's also creating amazing things. Yeah, that's true. It's really a mixture of things. So that's why a lot of people is always recommending to just like, okay, if you see something bad towards the community, fucking ignore it. Ignorance is a bliss, truly. But yeah, it's really if there is something trending, people are gonna fucking exploit the shit out of it. Like, do you see the kids on TikTok? And it's really unavoidable, but at the same time, you have to give credit for those who like made it amazing. So yeah, it's kind of like balancing things out. Just give credit to the amazing parts and talk shit about like the negative stuff. But yeah, I love looking at original character artworks all day on my Twitter feed. Yeah, it's just nice. You know, if everything is like wholesome, you know, no drama and all, you gotta give credit. like on how amazing the community can be. But if someone is like, it's usually outsiders. It's usually not really artists, or they're not really that what you call this, super into that market anyways. They're just, it's usually outsiders, or at least to my experience. It's always the outsiders getting into the market and then exploiting it. It's usually the outsiders. But if there is like an artist that's like exploited also and joining the bandwagon of the outsiders, then that's where like the heartbreak goes in. And the betrayal. You believe in the betrayal. But if we exclude the drama, if we exclude the negative and all of the bullshit, and we just stick to, or at least see the wholesome parts of it, it is beautiful. You cannot lie. I cannot lie. And everyone is just praising each other to like, hey, that's smart. Or it can be like giving each other tips, or, but honestly I don't think that's a good thing. Actually, it depends. It depends on the context. Because it can be like an educational or just full on wholesome. Everyone is like having a fun time and chilling. So yeah. Where was the guy who was like begging for me to check his DM? I'm more surprised he didn't ask here instead. Yeah, I think I recommend, if you're like trying to reach out or find a way to communicate to me, I just recommend my email, or just hopping on stream in case they get to see me live or something. But yeah, those are like the best ways to get in touch with me. Or my Discord. Discord also works. Yeah, I'm in a calming phase from my redesign, and it's so nice. I'm so excited for new artworks. Exactly. The thrill. Because I also have like a phase of like redesigning my OCs, but that phase is kind of set aside right now. But recently, my new phase is like just drawing random doodles and just random OC concepts and shit. And it do be like that sometimes. Like, come on. It's very chaotic. It's very disoriented and disorganized. But regardless, it's still fun. If the thrill is present, the thrill is there. I think you'd like my redesign. It's cleaned up a lot since you last drew him. But I did kind of have to panic finish him before. Your art's constantly improving. I've been watching it for a long time. Love it. Yeah, it's more like I've been adding new stuff, because back then I'm literally super limited when it comes to my layers. I remember that time I was like only using a few layers of like for colors, for ink, and for sketch. Like that has 3 layers or something. But recently I've been just you know what, fuck it. Let's just uh render, use our airbrush, because holy heck, we never use every brush we have here. But it's nice to just not hold back, and continue. I think doing what you're enjoying helps you grow. Yeah, that's pretty much my principle, I guess. Or at least my must-haves. if I'm not enjoying something, I'm definitely gonna stagnate. Like, if you don't have the motivation, if you don't have like, you know, if you're in the middle of the process and you're just like constantly having flashbacks and having an existential crisis, then that's where I get to like, okay, maybe I need a break and go back to step one and find or do what I enjoy the most, and then let's see where I go from there. And I also make sure I have a sense of curiosity, like be curious, don't be afraid to try new things. If it doesn't work, then you can just go back. Why not? It's not really a big deal. I appreciate uploading your buds on YouTube. Yeah. If you guys are like, if you weren't able to catch up on the stream, I upload them on YouTube. I might upload it on YouTube a tad bit late because I don't know if it's my internet or or it's just YouTube butchering the uploads. It's a tad bit late, but I do upload my bots there. It's kind of like a bot archive rather than a YouTube channel. Old Winter King, welcome. I'm kind of finished with my stream now, though. Or at least we're kind of like on the closing stage of the stream. But glad you were able to join us for today. I mean, I don't think today's progress or process is too exciting. I just literally shaded and put some shadows and rendered, and that's it. It's not a super long process. It's only like an hour or something. So yeah, we're just chatting right now and chilling. I might end the stream in like 2.5 hours. So that's like 7 minutes. So we're just chilling and chatting. And it's kind of getting late for me too. Honestly, it doesn't matter if it's getting late. I still end up sleeping around 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. My sleeping schedule is a nightmare. And at this point, I think I fully accepted it. I cannot go back. I mean, I can try as hard as I can, but I cannot go back, unfortunately. Because back then, if it's like 10 or maybe 9 p.m., I would definitely go to sleep straight up. But nah, recently I'm just having a having the worst sleeping schedule. And I always wake up much more earlier. Like I wake up around 4, 5, maybe 7. I wake up but I don't get up. I don't get out of bed. So it's me waking up and then going back to sleep because I didn't get it's a nightmare. So I ended up having like 7 hours, 6 hours sleep. But since it's like I'm going back to sleep and waking up, it's an endless cycle. It ended up not being a good sleep. So I end up in this limbo of always tired, but at the same time cannot sleep immediately or pass out immediately, which is a shame. And honestly, a nightmare. Oh, have I exported this? I forgot. I got too distracted. Okay, I did. Would you mind going through recent comms and talking about pricing of them? Is that weird? You mean my commission prices? Something like that? Like, what are my recent prices? If there is some changes to my what do you call this, terms and all that. Is that what you mean? Yeah, exactly. So basically, I just if you go to look at my old commission info or sheet or whatever, commission sheet, uh the prices is just basically $5 more. But for example, if there's gonna be additional stuff like complex design, complex details, or really detailed design, and if it's like it has effects, if it has backgrounds, there's gonna be an additional charge for that. Actually, the only price that hasn't changed, I think, is my character sheet. My character sheet is still $135. But then again, if there's like additional effects and the design is like complicated, the price can vary or a tad bit much more higher than that. A tad bit higher than that. But it's not gonna be super like 50 additional bucks or something like that. I don't think I would ask for that price unless it's backgrounds, because backgrounds are too much and pretty much has the same amount of hours or work of drawing a full body character. But I don't draw. I also stopped drawing headshots, bust shots. It's only full body shots and character sheet. Those are the only two commission types that I do recently. To be honest, I don't know if I'm brain dead, but I can find your recent price stuff. Oh yeah, you're not gonna find anything. Don't worry, your brain is fine. It's just I haven't updated it. I only say the update or the price changes to those who like through DMs or like through email or through contacts basically, and inform them that there's gonna be changes, or just show them like the terms and the prices, or what those can be or what can affect the prices. I'm like stuttering. But yeah, pretty much. And also if there's like an additional character, for example, two characters in one illustration, it's gonna be like full body. If it's full body shots, so it's basically $60, and then the other one, or if you have like an additional character but it's still in the same illustration, then it's gonna be minus $5, so $55. So in total, it's gonna be like 115, something like that. But that's an example of like if you want two characters in one picture. But if it's gonna be separate, yeah, those are like the base prices. $60 for the full body shot and 135 for the character sheet. Usually, if there's like, for example, an additional effects, if you want an additional effects, I'm gonna charge like an extra $5, something like that, for example. Or in this case, for example, in this commission, complex design and a lot of details. So that's why I charged somewhere around like $70. And it's a tad bit of a big illustration, so yeah. It's this is why I think I need to like make an update for my commission prices. But at the same time, I don't want to make a huge announcement or anything like that, because again, I want my commissions to be low-key recently, so in that way I don't overwhelm myself with a lot of messages, so a lot of requests and stuff like that. Because I don't want to sound scummy, but as an artist yourself, or as an artist myself, I also have to be cautious of other customers, because some customers or commissioners can be like, some of them are kind of sketchy to the point that they just ghost you sometimes. So, or they can be uh I guess stubborn. Some of them are like making major changes, but you're already like at the final stage. I still have not experienced that, but if I do, I think I'll lose my mind. Hold on. Mm, I'm down for like minor changes or adjustments if it's like on later stages, for example, line art and uh coloring stage. Minor adjustments are fine, but if it's a major change, I would much prefer if the major changes happens on like the sketching stage, because sketching stage is much more easier to handle. But that's that's something I show off to my terms anyway, so yeah. Yeah, that's super brilliant. Major changes after line work is like a huge red flag. Unless they explicitly offer to pay for it. If they're offering like a payment for it, that's fine. Usually major changes on the line art is okay to me, but if it's like changing the pose completely, I think I would just yeah, ask for additional payment instead. Because if it's the pose and it's like basically a separate illustration in itself, and you're like on the second stage already, yeah. But then again, this is how has something to do with communication once again. If the commissioner or the artist, this goes both ways by the way. If they're like not very good at communicating, that's gonna be like a bit of a problem. So yeah, this is why uh basically both parties have to be cautious. I've done it once with an artist, but I offered to pay whatever they asked for it. It wasn't a pose, it was just that I second guessed the whole boot design, and we had started coloring, but I literally said I pay whatever they asked for it. Oh, it's. I mean, if it's just a boot, and then. But then again, it really depends on the artist and the commissioner. Because, for example, in this commission, if the commissioner asked me to like redo the whole pose in the angle, and I'm literally at the coloring stage, yeah, that's pretty much a separate illustration and pretty much a big pain. And yeah, there's also really sketchy commissioners. And don't get me started to the quote unquote commissioners, you know, asking art for free. And they do it in the most rudest way as possible. And yeah. Redoing the post would scrap all the detailing that took hours. Criminal to ask for. Yeah, you're basically doing a separate and basically a new illustration by then. You're basically back from the beginning. So that's why that's like a nightmare. And pretty much why you should make it clear to your terms that any major changes is nada on like after the sketch or the line art or whatever. Unless they're paying 70 bucks again. I mean, yeah, it's basically a separate illustration if they're asking for basically a new pose, because everything is gonna be scrapped here. But yeah, I can't even believe that. I can't believe people ask for free work. It's usually people that does not appreciate art or has no idea how art basically works at the market. They usually just like, oh, what do you mean you have to pay for this? It's definitely one heck of a ride, that's for sure. Well, actually, I do believe in free work when you're learning. Like, my background is fine arts and sculptures, and like just because you're an artist doesn't always mean you're ready to sell work. That's true, because back then I also do requests, like probably back around high school. And it's something I really don't mind because it's really not a demanding job. It's for free, it's whatever. So yeah. But once you're at a marketable level, like it's so disrespectful when people are like, it's learning, it's exposure, it's this, it's that. Yeah, that's so true. Like, imagine asking Kim Jong Yi to draw for you for free. They have the skills, they're so marketable. And you're like, who? Someone who would just barge into the convention or something. And then you ask it for free. But yeah, unfortunately, there are still people that are like that. There's probably more red flag commissioners. There's the one, yeah, the one example is like the ones paying for exposure, and the ones that are like asking for a refund when it's really not that reasonable. I think I've seen like a few instances from PayPal that are like other people are finished the commission, but apparently the commissioner happens to refund or request a refund from PayPal. And I think it's just overall a nightmare. Here's the thing, I don't mind refunds at all. If it's justifiable, that's for sure. Refunds happens and it's fine if perfectly reasonable. But if you're refunding and then you get the fucking art, you're just stealing, bro. I've only seen like a few threads or stories about that. But I always see like the major ones are like, you know, paying for exposure and shit. While corporations, it's so predatory. That's the industry for you. Like the concept of running art contests is so scummy. Oh my god, yes. I think I've seen a video of this, but I can't remember. Like I always hate those art contests and shit. Cause they claim the they either fucking claim the art and all that stuff. I have mixed feelings about art contests actually. If it's like something fun or small, maybe it's and then you know it's not scummy as well. But when it comes to big corporations, or at least in my experience, art contests are so biased. They're so biased. Dead ass. I have this one judge completely favors whatever I draw. It could be like I could be wiping my ass and call it art and he will call it a masterpiece. And then there's this one judge. I use all of the techniques from this one judge that, you know, likes me. But then when it comes to this judge, they just don't fucking give a shit. And pretty much the reason why I lose. Because they much prefer simple stuff, simple drawings. But this other judge that I came across first and became our coach really likes detailed cartoons or drawings. So I'm like in a fiasco of conflicts. And it's so biased. I remember that time I was like in the national contest, you know, competing for nationals and shit. This one dude, or basically that won the champion or became the champion, first place, his artwork or cartoon, it was like an editorial cartooning contest, by the way. He made a cartoon that is so, like, I've already seen this. He pretty much copied the idea. So I'm like, I wasn't too salty about it, but at the same time, it just makes me realize that, yep, these contests are biased. And it pretty much determines, or it's pretty much determined by who's judging it, or who's, choosing the winners. And of course, it's, location based. For example, my team, I'm a part of a team that is like where I'm based from, or to a location I'm based from. And if the judge is like close to a student, they're gonna make them win. It's so political. I hate it. This is why I don't take art contests really seriously. Yeah, it's always like all artwork submitted we can use regardless of. I think the recent one that I've seen, yeah, basically anything that is run by mega or big corporations, they can do anything with your artwork. They basically claim it. And for the price of one. Yeah, I think it's fine, but corporate ones are just scummy. It's basically exploiting you. Like, hey, make artworks for us. So basically, it's free marketing for them. Deadass. And they are not barely doing anything major or anything like that. They just say that or announce that, hey, do this, and you may get the chance to win. And then you make them, and then you're just competing with, like, in a fucking crowd. And God who knows what they'll do to your artwork. But if it's a small contest, I think it's fine. It's usually the ones that are, like, pretentiously, basically utterly pretentious and just trying to make it big. Yeah, usually it's corporate ones. But damn. The only time I find, or if ever I have fun, or if I can recall, because I remember that time I just did not like joining those art contests, like, doing poster making, doing editorial cartooning. I'm just basically making art out of fucking nothing. Do you know what they do with the drawings? They throw it out. They don't even have a picture of it. They don't even have proper records of it. So yeah, your drawings are basically toilet paper for them once you've submitted it. And also, I don't care about those drawings, but come on. Having no records of it, that just sucks. Not to mention, you're supposed to be like an a big contest or a big deal with the country and all that shit. But, oh my god, who am I to talk and shit? And if I have to, like, recall what are the times I have fun on that journey of, like, me joining contests, I had more fun hanging out with, like, finally other artists. Because here's the thing, I live in the Philippines. You're not gonna witness a fucking artist anywhere. It's super rare to get an art friend here. And I only have like 2-3 art friends locally. I don't even get to hang out with them all the time. It's really like a deserted island. And we can only probably get to see other artists, and it's only by through online, but physically it's pretty much impossible. So yeah, that's only like the only time I finally get to interact with other artists, and thank God for that. Do I give a shit about like making the art and all that stuff? I did not give a shit about the contest. The only reason why I attended those contests is because my teacher are giving me, what do you call this, treatment, special treatment. It sounds so scummy, but this is how it works here, unfortunately. But it's not super special treatment, honestly. It's like only one subject or two subjects. Like for example, if I win this contest, they're gonna I don't need to take this test anymore to this one subject. I'm like, bro, I'd rather take it. Special treatment? Give it to me. They probably give it to AI. Oh yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. I mean, anything they can take. So yeah, it's really predatory. They're also vague about it too. Like they don't completely say what you're getting into. All they say is like, "Oh, make artwork. It's art. It's for you and get a chance to be in yada yada yada." And that's it. That's it. So yeah, it's very vague to like what they're saying too. So yeah, I just recommend to be like cautious, or else it's really you versus against the world. It sounds sad and miserable, but at the same time, that's just how it goes. Honestly, relatable. You gotta grind for that special treatment, bro. But honestly, they also just picked anyone. Oh, there's an art contest happening to this area. Pick up that art kid over there. Yeah, her. Get her. Oh, is she known for drawing? Yeah, put her in the drawing contest. Might as well promote our school. By the way, that's also why we go into contests. We're just promoting our school. We're just promoting our name. And girl, honestly, I'm just glad I was like able to pass my general chemistry exam because of winning one contest. Like, you know, there's something wrong that I'm much more happy getting the general chemistry exam passed than winning the fucking art contest. I really do not care about winning the art contest there. Yeah, it's good for her name, whatever. Just give me my. Just let me pass my general chemistry, please. Because everyone was struggling to that subject, that's for sure. Oh shit, we're already past 2.5 hours. But anyways, I had a thesis work that was like 18 by 18 foot installation relief sculpture work. Damn. Yeah, if the it's like equivalent exchange, by the way. It's that sort of situation. The president of my university wanted to show it to their mansion, and they paid me nothing. Exactly. At least my teachers gave me this at least special treatment. But if you're like expecting a grand prize, no. They give you a fucking medal that is like can be bought for $10 or something. It's not even $10, it's probably 50 cents. Like, girl. You know those graduation medals? Yeah, you can buy that for like 10 pesos or something. So that's like, what? 50 cents? 10 cents? The achievement is nothing. But you know they're prestigious, so it was installed there 2 years. I couldn't show it or sell it, and they just didn't pay me anything. It was a bit wild. Damn. They does think that you Damn, at least my teachers has some sort of shame, huh? Because my coach, or at least the one that is taking care of us, you know, kind of like our guardian, you know, the adult of the group, or to our, yeah, to our group. Because we're, you know, it's teacher and the students handling them. He at least give us like a special treatment, at least. Like for example, if you skip classes and stuff like that, they're gonna give you some leisure to like do remedial classes or something, or just make you not take the quizzes at all because you participated. But do the higher ups made any sort of special treatment for me? I don't know. A fucking certificate and the medal was something, I guess. Actually, there was no medal. It was just only a certificate. I can't even put that on my resume. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do that with my resume, bro? But yeah, some contests, especially the contest that takes advantage of you, are pretty scummy. But if it's like the type of art contest where it's like providing prizes that you actually are interested in, actually those are the kind of contests that is like not too harmful. But when it comes to mega corporations, hell nah, stay the fuck away from them. But anyways, I have to end the stream there. It's getting late for me. But big thanks to you guys and to my patrons for supporting me and for hanging out with me for today's stream. I was only able to stream shortly today, and we didn't do that much. Again, we're just chatting all the time. I think in right by the end, and I only did some shading today. But next time, I'll probably finally make a full-blown illustration, maybe from sketch to color or from start to finish, or maybe something continue a work in progress of mine and finally finish something. But anyways, thanks again you guys for joining me today, and hope you guys have a great day, great eve, and all that good stuff. And thanks you all for coming again, and see you all next time. Bye bye and peace out.